If there is one regret I do have in my personal life, and I would encourage others, if they can, to not make a similar mistake.
Yeah.
Is perhaps, I talked about that prioritizing my work and PwC perhaps taking the upper hand on many occasions.
Yeah.
It is when I went for my second maternity leave. We have 2 children.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, our son who is now 30,
yes.
Our daughter who is now 27.
Right.
When we had our second born, our daughter, by then I was a partner. I'd been a partner 3 years. And I believed that it was so critical and important for me to get back to work, that I came back to work after only a few weeks, on the belief that I'll do it on a part-time basis. It will just be a few hours, and I will then actually stretch my maternity leave over a much longer period of time, and everybody will be happy. But the reality was that I got sucked back into work.
When were you most unmoved as a professional, as a woman in your life?
I'm one of those people that really likes to feel in control.
Mm-hmm.
So what does that mean? It means that I take a lot of pain to plan ahead, to try and anticipate, to perhaps seek help, to involve others.
Yes.
So when have I felt not in control? When have I felt this is going horribly wrong? I can't think of any. I can't think of any.
Yes.
There will have been cases where, I faced a difficult client. We are probably facing a difficult proposition that is probably, that looks very hard to, to bring in. But I'm one of those people who doesn't give up easily.
Yes.
So I will try and pull out all the stops. I'll try and reach out. Maybe when I made a decision, this was a personal decision.
Yes.
Against all advice and against all expectations, to pursue accountancy instead of medicine. I applied for and was admitted to medical school. But before school started, before uni started, I decided that wasn't really for me. Mm-hmm. I got exposed to the world of finance through an internship program, and that's how I ended up developing this real interest in, because I was always very keen on numbers and maths and all of that. So there was that period of maybe 2 years, maybe 3 years, where I took the course that I believed in, that was contrary to what everybody else thought I should go for, and people thought I was crazy. And I was like, I have to do anything and everything in my power to succeed. Because not succeeding and having given up something that was almost the norm, the expected, was going to probably be difficult to reconcile with, both personally and particularly with family.
Which one would you pick if you had to pick either passion or talent? Which one takes you further? Passion or talent?
Passion.
Okay.
Passion. You can be the best accountant that there is out there, but if you don't have the passion to actually be in a field such as ours, you won't succeed. Mm-hmm. If you have the passion, then you can apply yourself in so many different ways, because you're living a passion. You are experiencing something. You don't know what the end game is. You can have all the qualifications that are required for your job, but it doesn't necessarily mean you'll succeed. So I think passion is what draws in the human aspects of both you and the people that you interact with. May they be your colleagues or employees or fellow professionals or clients.
What do you think frustrates Mr. Eriksson most about you?
Should ask him.
I'm sure you know.
I am a person of detail. I am almost a perfectionist. And that's sort of hard.
Tell me about it.
And that's sort of hard to live with.
Do you have OCD? Do you have things in a certain way? That's a bit too...
I have some OCD friends. Maybe I am one. I need to look myself in the mirror. Perhaps I am.
Yeah. Which of your dreams is still on the in train?
I think professionally, it's sort of done. I think my dreams now are about how do I support. We have 2 children.
Right.
How and they're adult. They're adult. Our son is married. He got married a year ago. And our daughter is also, she's just finishing her postgraduate degree before going back to the workforce. So the unfinished business, I think, is around parenthood. Yeah, I acknowledge that, rightly or wrongly, that's a lifetime commitment. So I think that is unfinished business. So it's, making sure that, with more time, I don't become more of a nuisance than...
Now that you have time on your hands. Like, oh God, mom is calling.
Yeah,
Yes.
My mother-in-law is visiting.
It was more fun when she was working.
Perhaps.
Yes.
I have a commitment to mentorship, and not mentorship just for the sake of it, but in a meaningful sort of way. So I will commit time to mentoring entrepreneurs, up and coming entrepreneurs, and there's a space for that, and there's an avenue that I have found to do that. I hope I will continue to mentor individuals within the firm, within the profession. But then you go to some of the very things that I think make me more whole than the business card that I will share or I will give to one. And one is my love for orchids.
Okay.
An interest I picked up perhaps ages back, but more so in the last 5 years or so. So my husband and I collect orchids. We're part of the Kenya Orchid Society. And you're looking at me like I'm a person from, like I have suddenly developed.
There's a society like that?
Yeah.
And you guys have meetings?
Yes, we have monthly meetings.
Amazing.
We have a show once a year. Normally in October, there's a show, normally at the Sarit Center.
Okay.
The week of Kenyatta Day. That's the week that is the normal orchid show week. You're looking at me like I have horns. And I've even participated. I have exhibited the last two years, the last 2 times. I was even show champion the last time.
Really?
Yeah.
So you present orchids?
Yes. I'll show you.
Do they have names?
Yes.
You give the orchids names?
Orchids have names, and that, in fact, is my unfinished business.
Okay.
To learn about orchids. There is so much to learn.
How are you and orchids similar?
I think that the orchids like to be nurtured. You can't ignore them.
Right.
If you do so at your own peril.
Right.
And there's something perfect about orchids. There's something in some ways predictable, because if you invest, look after them well, they will reward you. And I'm a believer in planning, in being purposeful about what I want to achieve. And I guess looking after orchids is not inconsistent with some of those virtues.
My editor asked me to ask you, my editor.
Your editor?
Yes, I had to squeeze in this question. What exactly are you going to do when you retire? She just wants to know, what are you going to do with your life?
What do you think?
Orchids.
What do you think?
Really?
I will look after orchids.
Yes.
I don't think retirement means sitting at home.
Right.
I don't want to be prescriptive at this stage.
Right.
But obviously, I will not be idle. I don't want to make commitments at this stage because some of them are still sort of work in progress. But I really want to spend a lot of time not necessarily in the corporate world. So yes, things like orchids will feature. Things like travel and trekking will feature. I hope to spend more time with family. My mother lives in Kisii. I don't visit often enough. I'm hesitating talking about joining boards and what have you because that's what everybody expects me to do. Perhaps there'll be a bit of that.
Since you're an accountant, you've dealt with money and finances all your life.
Yes.
What have you learned about money, wealth? Yes. What does money mean to you?
Money is a means to an end.
People keep saying that.
You should not be obsessed about money. I don't think you'll ever have enough money. But you need to plan. And you need to be reasonable about your expectations.
As a first partner, female partner,
yes.
What character do you have to be, or state of mind do you have to be in to climb up, and get up there?
It's not one thing.
Yes.
But I think one very important one is to have purpose. And by purpose, I mean you have to be clear about what am I aiming to achieve and not having a very, very long time horizon. When I joined the firm, I did in purpose to become a partner. I never even dreamt of being a partner. And purposeful means, appreciating that it's a workplace. So the employer needs service. The employer, it's got to be a win-win situation, otherwise you don't belong. So you've got to give as much as you're hoping to receive. Perhaps even give more than you probably receive.
Yes.
And if I can then be very specific about being a female, I honestly never, I hope, carried myself as a woman. And I think that's quite, in my view, important, that you've got to equate yourself mentally and psychologically in the workplace with your male folk.
When did you last cry?
Wow. It goes back.
Way back.
It goes back. I mean, there'll be those occasions where, something really emotional brings sort of tears to your eyes. Is that crying?
So you can't remember the last time you teared?
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
So the last time I teared, I guess, was, tears came to my eyes.
Yes.
I'm not sure they even dropped. And I definitely didn't use a hand.
It's like Obama saying, I didn't inhale. I smoked.
But I didn't. Yeah. It was actually 2 weeks ago, when I received a text from a business associate, somebody, a client. And this is somebody who is going through a very difficult time. Is actually very unwell. But they took the trouble to send me a text, in response to all the media hype around my retirement, etc., and to congratulate me, and it brought tears to my eyes. That the position that person is in, they still found it in them to send me that note. But when my brother died 4 years ago, I really cried.
Who's behind the mask?
It's Anne. I love dancing.
Okay.
I love partying. And we have parties, official parties, not official, business parties. And those that see me for the first time on the dance floor at the Christmas party, they're like, "What? Is that her?
Is that the boss lady?"
Is that her? I love to dance.
Yes.
And I challenge the young ones. I can challenge the young ones.
When are you most vulnerable?
If I'm presented with a situation where a child is involved, a mother is involved, those are very weak moments for me. I find it very difficult to say no.
What space does spirituality and religion take in your life?
I believe in God. I was born into the Catholic faith. I was baptized, grew up as a Catholic. We were even married in the Catholic Church. We were married at the Consolata Church. Today is my wedding anniversary.
Oh, really?
32 years ago.
Well, how about that? 32 years?
Yeah. 1st of March 1986.
Whoa.
But today, I don't go to church often. I believe in God. I believe in the various sacraments, and I would rather be known for living positive values than be known as the person who is always going to church.
32 years in marriage.
Yes.
If you're to advise somebody
Yes.
on marriage,
Yes.
what would you tell them?
Invest in that relationship.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And by that I mean really that. Invest in your relationship with your spouse. The kids will come, the kids will go. You will be left, the two of you. So there has to be meaning in the relationship between the two of you.
Yeah.
So common interests, friendship.